Hello everyone, it's Quest Quenchers here today, and I am going to be giving direct feedback to the gaming company that made Dragon's Dogma 2. I have a pretty long list here of little tweaks and things, additions I think it would greatly benefit Dragon's Dogma 2. So I'm going to start off from like what's sort of doable and stuff like that at number one. So, firstly, auto continue conversations. I don't want to be spamming, pressing A all the time during conversations. I'd prefer it to just continue, just play out. And that could probably be a setting in the options where you can just auto continue, conversations. That is just, you don't have to press A every time to finish a sentence. It just goes with the flow. So the cutscenes sort of allow that disengagement from pressing buttons, and allows you to concentrate on the scene taking place in front of you, which I think is better. And then we also have parry for one-handed swordplay or a pummel strike. So the warrior gets like this little nudge to like knock off posture, the bad guys and stuff. But if you just want to have a sword in your hand and nothing else, there is no like kind of like counter or dot or parry. So I thought, hey, maybe use that system that the warrior has, as in you can nudge him off balance when you just have one, just a sword in your hand, or like a punch or a pummel strike, just to like open them up slightly and stuff, or to like counter an attack kind of thing. That's I think that would be quite cool. So you're not just you don't just have to have a shield, so you can have like a sword, and then if you don't have a shield on, it just defaults to like a pummel strike or something like that. And then next is a free a floating free cam in photo mode. I think that would be very useful, so you can exactly position where you want to be, at what angle and stuff, instead of this orbiting mechanic they have right now. Whereas you really can't, like, if you want to get a proper cool shot of something, you can't really do it, unfortunately. So having a free floating cam in photo mode would be fantastic. And then we sort of move on to a little bit more complex things through interaction. So more romance interactions, so i.e., like hugs, kissing animations, being able to sleep in the bed of said romance, asking how they are, more conversations, having them to follow you. You can also like trade with them, so you can edit what they wear and what the weapons they carry. You can invite them places, have them over for lunch, dinner, or tea, and have them stay at your house. So those kind of things I think would make the romance system more of a romance system, as well as you can have like a prompt to be like, is this your main, romance? And you go yes, and it would forever have a tag on that. So when it comes to like the end game where the dragon and stuff like that, you will always have the preferred romance there because they got a tag on them now, and they can always be that option to untag that thing, like, oh, I'm no longer in it, kind of thing, conversation you can have. And that's how you can change who is going to be there when the dragon finally reveals itself. And then we move on to more one interactions. So more physical after interactions after killing foes. So it's like fist bump, celebratory hug, clapping interactions, bowing. You can also ask how they are, which increases the affinity meter, asking about the area where you are, or the mission, a little bit more detail about it, and also asking about like creatures, ask from stories from the rift, kind of thing, as well as like you can also like, hey, how do I defeat this creature quickly? What's its weaknesses? So say like a griffin's weakness is like ice or something, or fire. The pawn would be like, oh yeah, I've killed a griffin, oh I've mastered. And you can also get the like a tag. So say they've mastered the ways of killing griffins, they can be very specific. If they haven't, they're like, oh, I'm still not too sure. But once the medal is sort of completed, like you've killed like 30 griffins, then you get the proper answer kind of thing. And then another simple thing is, can we tip street performance? I see these people like playing instruments and stuff, and I'm like, or at, like taverns and stuff, and you'd be like, wow, that's really cool. Can we tip it, please? And also with that is more useful bars. So I feel like bars are not full, like bars and pubs and stuff. They're not like full enough. So when you enter the bar, it should like quickly populate. So when you do like an actual action, kind of like buying everyone around, there's it greatly increases the infinity from the people within the bar. I think it does that already, but it's very minuscule. Whereas I think it needs to greatly improve it so it does show that, doing this is a cool thing. It actually does do something. Whereas I don't think people do it and notice that it does that. So it needs to have a greater effect in order to be like, I can do this. I can make people, give me discounts and stuff. I can get more gifts from at my house, kind of thing. As well as I think in order to make it a little bit more useful, you need to have traders spawn in too. So say like the armory dude spawns in at the bar. It could be a separate NPC. He's always going to be at his shop. Or you could have like one that's connected with the same affinity system, spawn it at a bar, and you do that, and then you can get discounts and stuff that way. And I know you can also give them the gifts and stuff to get a discount with the affinity system, but still, I feel like it needs to go a little bit further and more like streamlined, so you're not, doing it that way. And then we move on to I want there be a tab called lore entries because I still don't understand the lore of Dragon's Dogma. I know it's like the end never ending cycle and all that stuff, and you break the cycle and all that stuff. But when it comes to like little things like what is the lambent flame? What relevance has it got to do with this cycle? And kind of stuff like that. Just different lore and the dragon and all the dragons and what they are and stuff like that. I think that would be great to look at. And make it easy for people to make videos on. And then a beastery that shows it's, as you kill them, you kind of unlock sort of, hey, that was effective, hey, that wasn't effective, or more like what is effective at killing certain creatures, as well as like, I guess, a little background on them, like these creatures are from this, and this, and they, and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit more interesting. And then move on to more port crystals that can be placed, as well as they persist after the world reset. Once you complete the game, they persist. I think this would really be grateful. It'd be amazing, so you can move around the map quicker and easier. And I think people prefer that instead of running around replacing them. It's just a big time waster, and people tend to just stop after that. Whereas I remember Dragon's Dogma 1, Dark Arisen, I really liked it that I could get around the map quicker and stuff like that. All I had to worry about is purchasing fairy stones. So I could, I've already explored this area and stuff. So if I pop a crystal down here, I can explore it more further, and then I can fast travel away once I've got limited, I've over encumbered with all the stuff, and then I can move, fly back and have a look around and stuff like that. So yeah, and make fairy stones a little bit more cheaper, so like 5k, and have had at least 3 in stock at shops. I think that'll be a little bit better. Or you could just do the eternal fairy stone, but I think in order to keep it a system functionality, just not having the eternal fairy stone, but having at least 3 fairy stones in stock at 5k would be better. So you still have to buy them, and you can, if you don't manage properly, run out of it, and then you have to use the ox carts and stuff. And then the next one's a little bit more, I guess, advanced again, but more varied dungeons, as well as deeper and longer ones. One of my criticisms of Dragon's Dogma 2 was that the dungeons weren't very long. They were all caves and tombs, and that was it. There wasn't like anything really interesting, to be honest. And I really want to see like caves that go on for a little while. That you're like, should we back out and come back here a little bit more prepared, kind of thing? And let's place down a port crystal and come back prepared, and that kind of effect and stuff to make it feel way more like an adventure. And I don't want them to just be sprawling, corridors. I want them like go to like big open areas that have bosses and stuff. And you're like, wait, a dragon is in here. Why is a dragon in here? It's roost and stuff, or like different creatures in there that we have in the game, and just popping them as like a little bit more, making them like have instead of just one boss at the end, make them have like a few bosses and stuff like that. Or like you could as you get to a certain point within the dungeon, you can spawn 2 big creatures fighting each other. You know, and then you're like, "Oh crap, I came across a territory dispute here." To make it just more cooler. And then we come on to useful houses. So we have a mirror to edit only hairstyle and makeup. So you can't change the color of your hair, and you can change your makeup. So it still makes the little shop where you can change everything useful. You have to go there. And then a wardrobe to access stored armor and clothing only. So that's only the items that are tagged as clothing and armors you can only access at a weapons rack where you can only access weapons, and then a normal chest to access everything, and then a cooking pot to cook meals that give you buffs without having to camp. So you can have that at your house. Like you just go to your roaring fire in your kitchen and just cook a meal there, kind of thing. And you can play that little animation you want. Uh, and you have some buffs, and then you can go out on your mission, making the houses more useful, really. So from cooking pot to maybe a little garden where you can plant crops, and it takes a few days for them to grow and stuff like that. So you can have like keep coming back and making some potions and stuff there. So once that is, and you can have an alchemy bench so you can quickly access your crafting kind of thing. Even though you can craft on the go, but like you can be a little bit more immersive and craft that kind of thing here. And then we move on to private hire ox carts. So if you're not really into your fast traveling kind of thing, well, it is kind of still a fast travel. You can get like private hire ox carts, and they act as like it is a fast travel system, but can be accessed from higher status dwellings as well as from ox cart stations. So these private ox carts can take you exactly where you want to, straight from Vermin to Backpatal, and they sort of use the asset of those those like cool looking ox carts you see. Making that more prevalent, so you can actually hire them, and I suppose it's because it's so complicated. I guess that system is you'll only have to be like until a certain point where and then it fades to black and you arrive at where you arrive. So you can get in it, you can like, it goes out the main gates of Vermont, so you head into Backpatal, and then it'll fade to black, and then you'll be arriving at Backpatal. So there's a little bit more immersive kind of thing. But at the same time, it's a faster travel system, and with private ox carts can come with better cart guards and stuff. So there's no monster encounters, but the caveat is it's significantly more expensive. It's 600 gold plus depending on the journey distance. So saying if you are going from Vermund to Backbatal, it will it will be like, oh, there's going to be like 1,500 gold or more, kind of thing. So you've got to take that into account too. And then you can access that thing from your house or like a cart station. Then from that, I'm going to say bring back bounty boards, so you can hunt down criminals and troublesome monsters for money and special rewards, Witcher style. And you can make some of these can be like randomly generated, so they can be like, oh, this cave over here has this enemy. Let's go over there, and it'll just put a little, it'll start up a mission, be like bounty board, kill this creature here, kill this pack of people here, kill this pack of creatures here, kind of thing. So it does give you like a way to keep making money in a way, Arisen style, and Witcher style. And then I have hundreds of thousands of goblin parts, and I hate that I can only just sell them. I don't really use them for like crafting and stuff. I don't think it's really useful. So why make a monster part merchant? So you can exchange monster parts for unique gear, just that's specific for that type of creature that you've killed. So say you constantly kill goblins, you will get a sword that will one-shot goblins or something like that. And therefore, it's like it makes killing these creatures easier. Or it could be like, there's a certain like a staff that you can get that has more damage towards goblins when you use it. So why not use that sort of enchantment or whatever on like different kinds of armor? So like, I mean, not armor, on weapons. So you can have a great sword that does that. You can have a sword, a normal sword that does that, daggers that do that, stuff like that. Because if you used like the Wayfarer to optimize the way you destroy things, so you can say, oh, it's goblins, let's switch up to the goblins thing and the goblin daggers or whatever, and you can use that kind of thing to destroy those goblins quicker. And that system could be useful in a hardcore system next on the list. So a hardcore system. Now I want it to specifically change these things. So depending on your level, say you've been through the cycle and it started again, a new game plus basic. So you say your normal goblins shift to hobgoblins. You just have hobgoblins, no other easier ones and stuff. So they sort of like get harder, basically, like Dragon's Dogma 1, Dark Arisen. When you played hard mode, every like easy class of creature was replaced by its harder counterpoint. But like I've been through it about 5 times, New Game Plus, so I think it needs to have some sort of scaling and adjusted of health pools and attack damage and stuff like that, and the monster kind of parts and stuff like that. to really, then you've really got to use your equipment correctly and stuff like that in order to defeat the bigger foes like the dragon. And one more thing is having big creatures not flee anymore unless scripted. Some dragons will just randomly fly off, and there's no way of really tracking them down and then finishing them off. They just disappear, which is unfortunate. So these are kind of things that I think are doable, and are you're able to sort of produce in free updates kind of thing to keep the game fresh and more modern. It will greatly add to your game to make it last longer, and people will return to it. It's like, oh, I feel like fighting a monster. Let's check the bounty board to see what we have. And the bounty boards, I think, would it is a shame to see him go, and I think it would be great to see him back, but only specifically to do with like taking out criminals or troublesome monsters, kind of thing. And you can also like within that system probably see, oh, I see that they haven't been to this cave over here. Let's spawn that creature or this bandit group within there and mark it on their map, kind of thing. And then from the bounty board, you can maybe add some like other quests, like more story based quests with more dialogue and stuff like that. So it's more of a tool to add things into the world, because I feel like there would be something like that. And then just in the world, just on like the world generally, maybe add more like hey, this place is a bakery. Hey, this place is like a restaurant. Hey, this place is, and it serves different type of things. Just to make the world a little bit more immersive, basically. And adding those things in, you could add it into the romance options or to your interactions with your board, saying, hey, shall we nip the bakery and or you could be as well as a little bit more detail on the pawn system. Actually, having a place selector for your pawn to take you to would be probably really cool, and probably limit it to like so you got the quests, sort of, he could take you there, either and everywhere, and then you can also have can you take me to the Arbar tree? I forgot where it is. Or take you to take me to Vermont. I'm not too sure where to go from here. Say you ran out and you'd be like, you take me here, there, and the pawns would take you there. Or your main pawn would. Like I have thought about like a different kind of an enhancement system. Maybe you can add certain properties to your weapons instead of having to use books when you're not a mage or you don't have a mage in your party. So say like you can have a constant like holy damage on your sword enchantment instead of just a buff to its stats. You could actually change the meaning of how you use a weapon. So like a holy sword would be more effective against undead. Fire sword would be against things with fur and stuff like that. Ice would be more useful against things that don't have fur but are really big or something, slowing effects on stuff, freezing, and lightning would, do something else and stuff. So, I think, but there's always got to be caveats to that. So there's like the biggest caveat: it's expensive to have a constant enchantment on your sword. So you've got to get this, and this materials, and give me this amount of money, and then you would get that magical damage, and stuff like that. And it's always circumstantial too. So that's where like incantations and stuff become a little bit more useful, or you can use you got your wayfarer kind of person, so you can have, oh yeah, fighting this enemy, I can switch to my other blade that has this jump, and it would really make it really cool and stuff like that. So you can have like the same sword but with all different enchantments on it, but like they're all individual swords. So yeah, uh, it just making it more interesting to play. So yeah, that's basically all the kind of little improvements and little things I think would be great. Like there are some big and some small things here. I think the house thing would probably be the easiest, really, because I just you buy this house that is like you have a bed and that's it. You may as well not have bought it at all. It doesn't change a thing. So yeah, maybe having in the lesser ones you can't really cook there, so you still have to buy from like your restaurants and your bars and stuff. So yeah, that's basically it from me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed making this video. Um, I really hope they continue making this game something that it has so much potential, and these little things I think would help. I will do another video on like really big things I think they need to change around the narrative, to make it more interesting, to make it better. But still, what we have here is still fantastic. I love it to bits. I love playing it. I love the combat system. It's just, I think it really needs a narrative overhaul, which they can do. I think in gaming now, you could just add a patch and it will overwrite certain files and certain things. It's totally possible and doable in this, in this age now. So yeah, that's all from me. Please like, subscribe, and let me know what you think about some of these things I've mentioned, and do list below the things you might want from this game. So yeah, that's all from me. Please like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.